Watching Island News.
Welcome back. Just turned 6:30. All too often, we report on deadly crashes on Oahu. There have been 24 of them so far this year.
Tonight, we hear from a woman who survived a deadly crash in Waialua on the North Shore just over a week ago. Paul Drews shares her story and her recovery in this Island News exclusive.
Strength and flexibility exercises are now a challenge.
I got to walk 10 feet using my walker. It was exhausting, but it was good.
Aljalyn Sperber wasn't supposed to be spending her time in Hawaii at the Rehab Hospital of the Pacific with caregivers. She was supposed to be a caregiver herself.
But I came out here to help my cousin with her dad, my uncle. He has dementia. And so the goal was to be able to take things off of her plate for 7 days. Like just help prepare breakfast or meals, clean the house, tend to her garden, shop for her, whatever she needed. That was the goal.
After 4 days of helping, Aljalyn did take a little time for herself with the drive up to the North Shore.
My only vacation thing I wanted was to dip my body into the ocean.
She never made it back to her cousin's house because on Kaukonahua Road, a driver of an SUV who police believe was speeding slammed into her car.
And they were driving really fast. I don't think they were going any slower than 60. And so then I saw them coming towards my lane, and so I was trying to go right on the right side of the road to try to avoid them, but I guess anyway, it was a head-on.
Aljalyn says she doesn't remember the crash, but woke up in pain from broken leg bones, which required surgery, a fractured rib, and 2 injuries to her spine, one in her back and one in her neck.
I have a fractured C2, which is known as a hangman's neck. So I will have to wear this brace for, I think, about 8 weeks. I am so grateful to be alive. The officer said that's handling the case. He said that nobody should have lived. So the gift of being alive I'm so grateful for that.
She is also grateful for an outpouring of support, both in person and online, as friends set up a GoFundMe page.
And over 250 donors. So I'm like, I have that many people in my life that support me. That's like amazing.
That money will be critical to her recovery because while she had hundreds of friends, what she didn't have was health insurance.
I was putting off my insurance until 2025 because I was, fairly healthy and inactive. And so
Aljalyn says her employer will help her get insurance now, but she will have to pay for her week-long stay in the hospital, including surgeries, as well as nearly 2 weeks at the Rehab Hospital of the Pacific.
The costs are going to be a lot, like hundreds of thousands after this.
As she recovers, she's had time to reflect on the driver who did this to her and to his passenger who was also killed in the crash, and says she's not angry.
I feel sad that he probably lost his friend. I want him to feel accountability, to take ownership, and I want to understand what steps he'll take to not do this ever again.
I'm gonna go behind you.
Speaking of taking steps, Aljalyn is focused on recovery, so she'll be able to return home to Washington in just over a week and accomplish something important by the end of the year.
Hopefully walk unassisted by Christmas. That's my goal.
Paul Drews, Island News.